Doesn't it feel nowadays like the only thing that's certain in our work is uncertainty? What's the market gonna do? What are our competitors gonna do? Who are gonna be the new competitors that are gonna enter our market space? It's just the nature of the beast. So how can you, from wherever you sit, best handle this growing level of uncertainty at work? Uncertainty, you say? You know I've got thoughts. Let's talk about it. In this video, we're gonna face this question head on by arming you with 3 tips that's gonna help you better handle the uncertainty that I'm certain you're experiencing in your work today. Starting with what you must embrace, next, a very powerful and too often underestimated concept, and lastly, the area of your work to which you should be granting your greatest focus. The first tip is simply to embrace your reality. Honestly, the sooner that you can begin to embrace the fact that you're not gonna have all the answers, that you're gonna have more questions than answers, the better you're going to be for it. Because it's at that point, you'll put yourself in a position to actually move forward. When you remain stuck trying to get all of your questions answered, there's no forward motion. But that's not because forward motion isn't possible. Once you've accepted your reality of not having all of your questions answered, you're left with the one question that only you can answer. What now? What will I choose to do in this moment? Before we dive into the rest of these, be sure you subscribe or even comment below. I do videos like this all the time, striving to serve you value. So please subscribe or even click the notification so that you're one of the first to get notified when a video drops. All right, let's get back into it. Tip number 2, invite the awe of possibility. When there is uncertainty, often anxiety or worry or stress is inspired because we are naturally wired to put our belief into something unseen. If I don't have an answer to a question or a decision that I'm waiting on, my brain is gonna create an answer where I can store my belief. You know, this reminds me of, I'm a keynote speaker. It's a part of the work that I lead. And so I'm able to engage with a lot of clients all around the world. And of course, there's a process that's involved in bringing keynote speakers into these events and these conferences. And I remember there was one client that I was up for doing one of their large conferences. And this is one that I really wanted. Because it was going to be with the senior executive team. It was going to be with a client that was square in the middle of the industries that Change Enthusiasm Global actually seeks to support. And it was just going to be a really high profile type of opportunity. And I knew that I made it into the top 2, like it was going to be me or somebody else. And they were taking forever to make the decision. And in those hours, in those days, the amount of anxiety, the worry that I had, and honestly, I started to believe that they were not going to choose me, and I started to create all of the reasons why it made sense for them not to choose me. So my brain created the answer. I won't get chosen. And the belief were all of the reasons that I imagined in my mind. Now, I actually ended up getting that engagement, which was incredible. And all of that anxiety and that worry and where I chose to place my belief was for naught. So when I was in that moment, those days of not having the answer, not knowing what their decision was, I was in the seat of choice. It was up to me to create, what I thought might have been possible. And therein lies a different path I could have chosen. I could have created some awe or some anticipation of me actually landing the gig and creating some excitement and anticipation around that, knowing that my landing the gig was a possibility. So whenever you're in that moment of uncertainty, when you don't have the answers, as opposed to creating a response that might invite more anxiety, more turmoil, more worry, instead invite that sense of awe and possibility. This thing could actually turn out really great. I actually might get the decision that I so long for. And then what might happen? I would much rather choose excitement and anticipation than all of the worry, all the anxiety, all the sleepless nights that I experienced, and convincing myself that I was not going to get that engagement. The third and final tip is to focus on what you can control. You know, when we're facing uncertainty at work, it's so easy to focus on everything that we have no control over. When a decision is going to get made, who's going to make that decision, what resources are going to be brought in, what's going to be required of the team, what innovation that we're going to choose. So often we don't have much influence or power in making those types of decisions. We don't have any direct control over that. So as opposed to putting all of your energy, all your focus into something you have zero control over, why not focus on what you can control? What you actually have control over in your work plan. That's going to help you move your deliverables and your progress forward. You know, I actually think about this analogy where envision that you have a light switch that actually controls your dining room. It has no control over your kitchen light. Let's say you're trying to turn off your kitchen light and you're constantly hitting that light switch that controls the dining room. On and off, on and off, on and off. So much energy trying to get that kitchen light to go off. It's not gonna change. You're not gonna be able to turn that light off. So why are you putting so much energy and effort in hitting that switch that has no control over that? Rather, think about how you can turn the dining room light on. See what needs to go on in that room, right? Because you actually have control over that. So it's so much better to put your energy and your focus in what you can control, because that energy will actually be utilized in the best, most productive way, as opposed to you spinning your wheels and becoming exhausted trying to control something you just have no control over. Thinking about uncertainty and how to thrive and grow through that, I've got something else for you before you leave, and it's completely for free. I actually want to gift you a chapter out of my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. And this introductory chapter is going to explain to you change enthusiasm, this growth mindset, to enable you to harness the power of those more difficult emotions, to help you see opportunity in the change, in the uncertainty, in the volatility that you might be experiencing at work today. And it's yours today for free. All you got to do is click on the link below. I want to make sure you have the data, the insights, the research to fuel your growth through even your greatest change challenges or the most stressful uncertainty at work. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.